UEFA Champions League match day 2. So let's quickly go through some of the most interesting and bizarre results recorded on match day 2, the Tuesday edition of the UEFA Champions League, where one of the most shocking results from match day 2 is actually the fact that Turkish champions Galatasaray recorded a 1-0 win over Liverpool. So let me give you a bit of history and the reason why Liverpool were overwhelming favorites to actually win this one. So Liverpool came into this game having won 14 of the last 15 group stage games they played in the UEFA Champions League, and they are also the EPL champions or EPL reigning champions. So by the virtue of that, you don't expect the Turkish champions to just run riot over the Premier League champions. And on the day, you look at the team that Liverpool fielded, led by Hugo Ekitike, who got himself sent off in that Liverpool win over Southampton in the League Cup. So he didn't play in that Liverpool defeat to Crystal Palace over the weekend in the UEFA Champions League, but then he's their leading top scorer. So Hugo Ekitike led the lines for them. There was Jeremy Frimpong, there was Florian Wirtz, there was Cody Gakpo, Dominic Szoboszlai played at right back, there was Konate, there was Virgil van Dijk, and also Mulesh Keke. So this was a team that faced a Galatasaray team that was led by Victor Osimhen. And you'd be wondering, how come Liverpool just dropped points against Galatasaray? And Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League this season after match day 1 lost by 5-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt. So they've not really been convincing. They've not been impressive. They've been everything short of average as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. And Liverpool managed to just screw up and bottle it against Galatasaray. Liverpool, yes, they got themselves a match day 1 victory, but this isn't the kind of victory or the results you'd always expect from Liverpool. So on match day 1, they got a narrow 3-2 win over Atletico de Madrid. In a game that some actually thought that Liverpool were not supposed to win. Now, I just don't get it, honestly. If you're a Liverpool fan, you do not make the most out of this result. This is not the kind of result you expect Liverpool to churn out when you're coming up against a Galatasaray team that's been led by Victor Osimhen. And Victor Osimhen is by far the best player in this Galatasaray setup. He's the star they have. That one-eyed king amongst the blind men. And with Liverpool, you're looking at the stars they paraded. And even on the bench for Liverpool, there was a certain Alexander Isak who broke the English record transfer fee after his move from Newcastle to Liverpool. There was Alexis McAllister who started from the bench, and Mohamed Salah also started from the bench, Conor Bradley, and then also Georgi Mamadashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper. So this is a star-studded Liverpool side that you would never expect them to lose. But let's also take a look at the statistics after 90 minutes. And, maybe that could also give us an indication that Liverpool deserved to win, because Liverpool had the 67% of the ball possession, as compared against 33 against Galatasaray. But then one would always say that the most important statistic in football is actually the goals or the scoreline after 90 minutes. And unfortunately, Liverpool failed to do that. But then, let me also bust your bubble, because as far as expected goals, and that's also based on the quality of shots you take in a game, Liverpool had an XG, that's expected goal, of 1.78. That's against 1.32 of Galatasaray. One could also say that yes, in the 16th minute of that game, the deadlock was broken by Victor Osimhen, who just scored a penalty. But then Liverpool had enough quality. I just believe they had so much quality to have scored in this game. Because if you take 16 shots in total, and you also create 2 big chances, nothing shows that you shouldn't win a game like this, honestly. I just believe Liverpool were just not good on the day. And after losing to Crystal Palace over the weekend, in the Premier League by 2-1, it continued. And it's the first or the second time, in Ancelot's Liverpool career that he's lost back-to-back games in 2 separate competitions. So he's done it before during his first stint, and then he's done it again this season. And for Galatasaray, I think, thumbs up to them, because after they lost in that first game by 5-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt, I think they went back to the drawing board and they rectified 1 or 2 things that they believe didn't work out for them. But I still can't get or wrap my head over the fact that you start a game with Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, Cody Gakpo, and then Hugo Ekitike, and Liverpool still failed to score a goal, especially after they brought on Mohamed Salah, and then also Alexander Isak. I'm thinking this is a game you should have scored. And perhaps even with the statistics I just run you by, you should understand that Liverpool did everything they could within their power. But then I also think that Galatasaray were just so good on a day that they failed, or even they tried as much as they can or they could to force Liverpool not to even score on the day. Now you're looking at the table, and Liverpool after 2 games, they've won 1 game, they've lost the other. But then the question still remains that yes, they are on top of the Premier League, but then with what they've done so far in the UEFA Champions League, and also taking into consideration what they did in the UEFA Champions League last season when they lost to Paris Saint-Germain in the round of 16, do you still think that Liverpool has got what it takes to advance to the knockout stages? For me, I'll still not be convinced by this Liverpool side, as far as performance and goal scoring is concerned, because this Liverpool side, after about 7 or 8 games this season, they've won 5 of them in the dynamics or in the last 10 minutes or later in every game they've played. So it tells you that they've not really been so good. Honestly, I'm looking at Liverpool, I'm like, what's happening to Liverpool? You can't break the British transfer record twice to buy Florian Wirtz and then also Alexander Isak, and you lose to Galatasaray in a game where everyone thought that it should have been a must win for Liverpool. And that's it with Liverpool. For me, I'm not so convinced, but I'm just thinking that perhaps it's a blip, or it's just one of the numerous setbacks they could encounter this season like they did last season. Last season, out of 4 trophies, they managed to only land the Premier League, where it was a walk in the park for them because most of their teams were just below average and were not really playing exciting football. But then for now, Liverpool losing to Galatasaray would rather grab the headlines, and I wish to hear from you also what you have to say about this particular defeat to Liverpool. Our comment section is open, and also you can subscribe to our channel. It's Our Media Sports channel on YouTube and across the various social media handles.